Now, London is increasingly becoming a city of singletons. Figures out today show that half of those living in Westminster and Kensington and Chelsea now do so on their own. Matthew Morris reports now on what that means for the city as a whole.
Beatrice enjoys living in London and enjoys living alone. Up until August, she'd shared with friends, but now wouldn't go back to communal living.
Definitely, probably more expensive, yep. And it is worth every penny. I love it, absolutely love living in this place. And there's a whole range of friends I have around here who live also in the same neighbourhood. So I'm well surrounded, but it's also nice to have your own pad.
A new survey of 25 to 45-year-old Britons found that London has the highest number of people living alone. In places like Westminster and Kensington and Chelsea, it's nearly half of all residents.
Some people choose to live by themselves, and increasingly people are seeing it as a real rite of passage, and women in particular say that they'd like to live by themselves, spend a bit of time having those freedom years, being independent. But there is another group who may be forced into it either because they've moved to London for work, they don't know anyone here, and they prefer to live by themselves and live with strangers, or increasingly people who are there because they've split up with their partner.
Estate agents and property developers are taking note of that.
Undoubtedly, people these days, if they can, I mean, if they're developers, they're going to want to get as many flats out of the building as they can do. So there has been a proliferation of small studio and one-bedroom flats. And there is a demand for people to want their own space to live in.
But of course, some don't have the luxury of that option.
House prices become less and less affordable. It's less and less of an option to live on your own these days. If it was more affordable, then yeah, maybe I'd think about it straight away.
It's getting more and more expensive, so I'm not so sure living on your own is an option for myself.
Times, though, are changing. By 2021, over 35% of all households are expected to be people living alone. Matthew Morris, BBC London News.